Hello and welcome to Dirty Bird Sports and welcome to the Saturday Squawk, the show where we review last week's games in college football and preview the next ones. We're going to start right off with the 1,000 problems, AP poll problems that I have. We're going to start off with Texas at number 4, coming off of a big win against the number 2 or 3 Alabama in the country in Tuscaloosa. Program-defining win, but I genuinely don't think that this team deserves to be at number 4. I think Alabama's weaker than they usually are this year. Obviously don't have a quarterback, so I don't think that this is going to be a great team. But I'd also like to mention that, this team would be the team to beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa, but then go ahead and lose to BYU to screw up their season. That's just Texas. That's who they are. So number 4 is a little too high for me. USC, I think they should be higher. They've looked really dominant in their 3 games that they've played. They haven't played anybody. It's been pretty non-existent competition for them. Stanford, Nevada, and San Jose State. But, their offense looks unstoppable. Zachariah Branch on the punt return is electric. No one's looking like they're going to stop him anytime soon. I think they're one of the best teams in the Pac-12 by far. Alabama, I think they should be lower. I don't think that they're going to be this good this year. Obviously they just changed their quarterback. We'll get to that later. I just think that they are mid. I think Oregon should be over Utah at number 12. I think that they are the better team currently. Utah obviously has been struggling. They have no quarterback. Well, they kind of found a little something in their third string, but obviously Cam Rising, their number 1 guy, is out. Brant Kuithe, number 1 tight end, is out, and they have numerous defensive starters out. So they have scrapped together wins, but they're going to need Cam Rising back. And I think Oregon got a really gritty win at Texas Tech over the weekend and obviously blew the brakes off of Portland State. Colorado up next. I don't know if I believe the hype. I don't think I'm part of that train yet. Number 18 is just a little too high for me. Miami, I still don't really know why they're ranked after last year's performance. I know it's a very different team, but Texas Tech, A&M, not Tech. I don't think that win's it's a good win, SEC school, but I think that ranking them this early in the season is a little premature. Iowa in the same boat. I don't think that they're good enough to be ranked. They have not scored over 25 points this season. They beat Iowa State. That's a P5 team, but let's be honest, they're probably gonna suck this year. And I think Kansas deserves a spot in the top 25. Obviously beat Illinois last Friday night, and I think Jalen Daniels, is that his name? No. Something like that. I don't remember. Their quarterback looks really good, and I think he's picking up right where he left off, and I think he could be a really underrated talent. Moving on to the next segment, the bedwetter of week 2. I'm going to go ahead and say that it is, in fact, Baylor. They had the lead 10-3 at halftime against the University of Utah. Utah's missing a quarterback, missing a starting tight end, and Baylor scored 3 points in the entire second half. I will say that was PI at the end, but we shouldn't even be in that situation where you're hoping that a PI saves your game in the first place. I think that was it was a rough game, but Baylor bedwetter of the week. I'm gonna need a beer for this one game will go to Auburn Cal 14-10. This was a Pac-12 after dark game, and I watched Ocean's 12 instead of this game. I think that says all I need to say about this. So, maybe you enjoyed this game, but I thought it was ugly. Worse than a Big Ten game. No, the offensive could not score, and it was genuinely hard to watch. So, yeah. Gonna need a beer game is Auburn Cal. Our season is already over. Fan base award for the week goes to Alabama, and I think that they're not really overreacting on this one, but I do think some of the stuff that they're saying is a little like the Saban era's over. It's not over. I hate to break it to you. He'll come back next year. They'll be fine. Imagine if they had Devin Leary or a Drake May. I know Drake May didn't go into the transfer portal, but imagine if they got one of those guys, Sam Hartman, that went into the transfer portal. That's not Tyler Buckner, So I'm just saying. And they're obviously switching to Cameron Buckner after Jalen Milroe kind of failed in the Texas game. I don't know if I totally agree with that, but it's happening. I think Jalen Milroe is better than Tyler Buckner. After watching him at Notre Dame last season, I did not see anything special whatsoever. And Jalen Milroe gives you that. He's got a decent long ball. I won't say it's a great one. I think he's definitely outmatched by a lot of quarterbacks in that department, but he's got that element to his game. Obviously can improvise. You saw that play against Middle Tennessee State in week 1. He can scramble. He's essentially he's a running back who can throw a long ball. That's really his main thing. He was inaccurate at times, but sometimes I don't know if I'm going to blame that game on Jalen Milroe. I think that's Texas going in there and winning that game against the Alabama secondary that was extremely lacking. So, yeah. We're going to move on to my predictions for week 3 now, starting off with LSU at Mississippi State. LSU at the time of recording is favored by -10, and the over-under is 53.5. I think this is a really interesting game. I'm taking LSU to cover. I think that they're still out for blood after that Florida State loss. I do think the line's a little low. Mississippi State went down to the wire with Arizona. Overtime game in Starkville. So I don't think Mississippi's all that good. Obviously, coming off of all of the Mike Leach stuff. Obviously, rest in peace to Pirate. We love him. It's a tragic story, but I think LSU runs away with this one. I do think that they will get to the over. I'm saying 42-24 LSU wins. I think it's a little bit of a runaway game, but yeah, LSU takes it. Next up, Kansas State at Missouri. Kansas State is favored by 5, and the over-under is 47. I have no idea what this game is going to be like. I've never even heard anything about Missouri this year. Maybe I'm a casual, maybe I'm not. I hate Missouri. I cannot stand them. So your guess is as really good as mine at the outcome of this game. I think Kansas State is the better team. Obviously, they won the Big 12 last year, and they've looked good, beat a decent Troy team. But I just don't know. So I'm just going to go with 24-17. I don't know if that beats or whatever, the over-under, but 24-17. So, yeah, who knows with that one, really. Two really weird teams. I don't know. Kansas State's by far the better team, though. I think they will definitely win. Up next, Washington at Michigan State. I think Washington State runs away with this game. They're favored by 16 points. Over-unders around 58. I'm taking Washington all day long. No feasible reality where Michigan State can win this after the I don't even know how to say, scandal thing going on with Mel Tucker, whatever the frick's going on there. And obviously Washington's all just really good either way. Even if Mel Tucker was coaching, I would still take Washington and Michael Penix's aerial attack to Roma Dunze and all of his weapons there. And I don't think that this is very competitive. Honestly, I'm taking Washington to cover big time. I genuinely don't know if Michigan State's going to get off the floor for this game. So, UW 42, Spartans 14, L game. And this game's on freaking Peacock, dude. What the frick is that? Big Ten media rights deal. Get your act together. Don't make me pay more money to watch a college football game. You're already making me watch like 17 ads a freaking second, I feel like. So, yeah. Don't make me pay for Peacock. This game's gonna freaking suck because of you. Next, Tennessee at Florida, sorry. Man. Week 3 is kind of a rough week, man. There's not a lot of stuff going on. Week 2 is way better. Yeah, I don't think Florida is a good football team in any sense of the word good. There's just no gray area, nothing. And Tennessee's a pretty good team. They blew the brakes off of Virginia and their Week 2 team. I can't remember who they played. Some rando team that obviously blew them out. Joe Milton leading this offense. I think that they run away. They're at the time of recording, they're favored by 6.5 points. Over-under 57.5. I'm taking the over all the way. I think Florida kind of reverts back to that Utah form. McNeese State is a terrible football team. There's no other way to phrase it. They are bad. I don't think Graham Mertz is a fit for that system and what Billy Napier wants to do. I mean, you go from Anthony Richardson to Graham Mertz. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is this offensive scheme, you know? I know they misused him in Wisconsin and all this, but it's like he still did not produce. And so, so I think Tennessee should be favored by about a mile more than they are right now. So the Swamp is going to be a sad place on Saturday afternoon. Tennessee to cover. I am taking the under on this one, though. I mean, Tennessee is going to be doing all the scoring here. I mean, Florida put up like 10-ish points against Utah, and Utah's defense is one of the best in the season. So I'm not gonna make fun of that, but still, I mean, you have that one wide receiver and nobody else helping you. You have ETN, who you don't use. So I don't know. I'm saying 42, Tennessee 42, Florida 13-ish, or I even might go lower than 13. I think maybe 10 is 42-10. That's what I'm thinking. Tennessee wins. Starts the SEC season off strong. So yeah, Florida is terrible. I cannot exaggerate how bad they are. So so that's my squawk here on Saturday. I hope you guys tune in next time. This was actually really fun. We'll hopefully do this every week. Hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see what happens. See y'all next time. Peace out.